Do you want me to?
I just had to rewrite the whole code.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
You talk about it.
So in colonial times, obviously, we make everything from scratch. So there are 3 stations. There's the butter churn, which includes churning the butter and cleaning the butter. There's also a station with spices, because in the beginning of the year, we do, we're obviously basing it in the season that we're in. So in our colonial fairs in the early spring, nothing was growing. So the settlers were eating stuff from their food stores, which is what we have today. And the 3rd station is an entire cooking setup, an over-the-hearth cooking thing, which is made out of iron, and we can bring it today because it's very heavy. But it's basically a metal tripod with a chain and a pot hanging from the center. And then the 4th station that we have is a variety of seasonal foods. Like in our last colonial fair, we had fennel and Brussels sprouts and kale. These are local seasonal foods that the settlers would be eating out of the stores at the time. This changes during the year. We'll have spring seasonal vegetables in the spring, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The way the butter churning station works is, this is sweet butter churn. It says 1898 on the bottom. I don't know if that's real. I hope so. All right, so this is a butter churn, stone crock. It's called the paddle. And basically, we pour heavy cream in here. Heavy cream is meant to simulate milk after it has soured. If you put milk on a counter and let it sour, the cream will separate out. We place this in here, and what we're doing here is churning the butter, and we're trying to separate the cream from the buttermilk. There's a song that goes along with the churning butter. It's a very strange song, but it's a lot of fun. So each student will come up and they will say, churning, they'll say, "Come butter, come! Come butter, come!" And my name's Ike, so we'll say, "Ike is at the garden gate, waiting for his butter cake. Come butter, come! Come butter, come!" Each student does that, and it's very strange to hear that going on in the audio in the classroom. As they churn the butter, you can we open up the top here every once in a while, and it really works. You can see the butter being separated from the buttermilk as the day progresses, even within one class. So each student gets a chance to do that. Then we have this stone crock where we'll have butter that has been churned but not cleaned yet in it. So a big chunk of butter. These are called butter pats. This is the origins of the pat of butter you get in the diner. They're named after these. When butter is churned, it must be cleaned further, and the buttermilk must be further separated. So it has to be put into a bowl and worked with these butter pats and cleaned. So the butter here, it needs to be able to squeeze the butter. As you squeeze the buttermilk slips out of it. Pour a small amount of water on there to rinse it, and basically you're getting the buttermilk out of the butter. If buttermilk stays in butter goes rancid. How many times can I say butter? Butter goes rancid, and it's gross. But settlers would save buttermilk, of course, for whatever applications buttermilk has. And then you have butter that is done. Put a little salt on it, you're good to go. All right, this is the butter churning station. Each student will get a chance to churn and clean. Then there's a station with spices and preservation. This is called a hard tack. This is what the settlers used on their voyage to stay alive. It's disgusting. It is flour and water and salt. So the kids can handle this and feel it. It's rock hard, it's edible. Soldiers would dip it in their soup in order to soften it up. There's also various spices like licorice, cinnamon. There's some cloves and some nutmeg here. We have a small grater that students get to smell the spices, grate them, and maybe get exposed to some things they don't usually see. There's not a lot of water, nutmeg in a lot of houses, so they get to understand that spices were extremely important part of the food because much of the food was bland and rotting, so they had to make it taste good. And then we also have a jar of pickling cucumbers, that type of thing to show pickling is a method of preservation as well. The last station is there's the seasonal fruits and vegetables. What I try to do is I try to buy the strangest looking fruits and vegetables that I can, stuff that I couldn't readily identify. Last colonial fair I got a rutabaga and a turnip, which are exactly the same. A parsnip, kale, anything. Fennel is one of the weirdest looking vegetables in existence. So we encourage the students to try to identify these things. They probably haven't been eating much of them, and to really understand that food was seasonal and that they couldn't walk down to the store and buy orange. Orange was an extremely expensive and valuable fruit, and just to get them to understand the difference between what eating was like back then and now. And the last station is cooking, and that is just a matter of show and tell. Students are trying to identify each part of the cooking apparatus. We have a Dutch oven, like I said, the tripod, the blood chain, and the pot, and they just get to kind of look at that and point things out. All right. Any questions about the lung chain? Yeah. Yes, sir.
If you have two staff members on that, where does the volunteer go?
Excellent question. If you have two staff members on it, you definitely would be on the butter churning station, because there's some kind of delicate apparatus here, and you most likely be on the seasonal vegetables station. But the seasonal vegetables and the preservation are sort of interchangeable. I'm sorry. You'd actually be on the cooking station, the tripod station. So the butter churn and tripod for the teaching artist.
This is sort of a picture example of the stuff that we would have hanging, and you can pass that around. It's basically an iron tripod and a pot hanging, and then we've got a Dutch oven and some utensils. Just so it looks really cool and old, and the kids get to like touch it and be like, oh, this is a heavy pot.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
So cooking station and butter churning would be your stuff.
It's all about them like experiencing it and like seeing it and handling it, as opposed to being like super detailed, like, you know, spewing facts.
Any
The
other-
facts are good.
Any other questions?
You don't actually cook in a Dutch oven.
No. We have in the past, but also we've also had the fire department come sometimes. So we've decided to kind of simplify things, and it's also impossible to do during the winter. So, but we do, you know, have the whole setup there, and it's a pretty good simulation. It's not something you see every day, you know. So they get there.
So in terms of the timing,
Yes.
so you got half an hour in this station.
Yes.
How does the timing usually work?
It's similar to the other station, in Toys and Games and Spinning and Weaving, except we have one additional station, so that we get a little less time to work between the groups. If the kids are in a group of 3, you can separate out one more to be a group of 4.
In this station, there's 4. In the cooking, there's 4.
And cooking, there's 4, yeah.
And there's less it's a faster station to do because none of the stations are like as involved as Spinning and Weaving Toys and Games, so it's an easier rotating kind of round robin class.
So about 5 or 6 minutes for each station, for each